All right, so we're gonna do an update video. Well, not an update video, but we're gonna talk about Andrew's car doing the T5 swap. What I'll probably do is just do like some B-roll, show you guys a little bit of the footage from where we're working on the car. We're not gonna go in depth on this, but some of the key things or issues, if you will, that we ran across whenever we were doing the T5 swap in his car. For the longest time, we've been kind of stockpiling parts. We had old used transmission, Crossmember, pretty much every part that we used was used at some point except for new clutch, new flywheel. So about $300 to $350 is all Andrew had in this swap. Now granted, we had a lot of these parts. So the reason why I'm telling you guys that is you don't always have to go out and buy everything new. Look around, ask around. I mean, people have these parts sitting around, so you can always get a good deal on them. Don't think that you've got to go out and buy a brand new transmission. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. But this transmission that's in Andrew's car, we honestly thought was gonna whine and pop out of gear and make noises and stuff. But so far, it's worked out really, really good in his car. What we want to do tonight is just go over a few things that you need to be aware of if you're going to be doing a T5 swap from an AOD. What's one of the biggest things that you were unaware of whenever you started this?
Assembly. The amount of work that went into it.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, I could get under there, maybe drop the column down, let it hang, and get the pedal assembly out, but it wasn't that easy.
No, so the clutch pedal assembly,
it took the longest of everything.
Yeah, it did. It took a while to do. Guys, as far as the transmission swap itself, it's really not that hard. Now, that AOD is extremely heavy. Don't let anybody fool you. That is a heavy transmission, so make sure you got some help whenever you go to get that thing out. But outside of that, all you got to do is drop your AOD out, pull all of your transmission lines out. And one of the things I do want to kind of bring to your attention is I think a lot of people are unaware of whenever you take your transmission lines out, your radiator seals itself back up. So it's spring loaded in there. So when you pull those transmission lines out, whatever transmission fluid is in there, it's fine, it'll stay in there. You can run that same radiator. You do not have to go to a 5-speed radiator because there really isn't such a thing. Trust me, your radiator will be fine. So pop your lines off, pull your transmission out. You are going to pretty much have to disassemble your column anyway to get your shifter out.
Yeah.
The shifter was another issue.
I forgot about that.
All of your column needs to come out. Your whole steering column will have to eventually come out of the car. But your shifter does not just come out and you're able to like pick it up. I mean, I guess if you cut the cable, sure, you could do it that way. But it's a little more complicated than what you think. It actually attaches up on your column up there. So that's your...
right on the ignition switch.
Right on the ignition switch. So that's your park and neutral like safety switch up there. So you got to take all that out. So that was a little involving, to say the least. The pedal assembly itself, guys, take your driver's side seat out, take your time, lay you a mat or something down in the car with you, because you're going to be down there for a while. You just don't want to show your dirty shit.
Mine's dirty. That hole right there. Where's that?
It's back right up in there. So if you don't know, on your AOD car, your speedometer cable is going to be in the place where your clutch cable is. We don't know why Ford did that, but that's where it is. When you do your swap, there's a plug right back here that you're going to have to reroute your cable. But it is a little tight. I'm going to go ahead and tell you ahead of time, it's pretty tight. So, but all you're going to do is just move that cable from its location where your clutch cable will now go, from there over to the factory location for a 5-speed car. You don't have to drill any holes or anything like that. So when you do your swap, your wiring is going to be somewhat of an issue. If you do not do any wiring, you're not going to have any backup lights and you're not going to have a neutral safety switch at all. You can jump those two with like an alligator clip or something like that, and you can get your car started up and get it running, but it's going to start up in gear. A lot of people do the bypass anyway, so I mean, that's up to you if you want to leave it, but you are going to need some reverse lights, and for that you're going to have a connector. I can't remember exactly what it is that you're going to need, but LMR sells it. That way you can have your reverse lights. You can run your AOD Crossmember, but you're going to have to cut the welds. There's like 2 tack welds on each side, if I'm not mistaken. You're going to have to cut those off and grind them down so that the Crossmember can slide. So we've got a Crossmember right here, and what you're going to have to do is come in and grind these welds off. There's 2 welds on each side, right here, same over there. And once you do that, this will slide back and forth inside of your Crossmember. Or you can just buy another Crossmember, whichever. But if you want to save yourself some money, you can absolutely use this. It is the exact same Crossmember, it's just welded in a different place. Don't worry guys, you don't have to have a welder to weld this back up. You can leave this thing loose. Do not have to weld it. I mean, you can if you want to, but it doesn't matter.
It's gonna go to work with the transmission outboard.
Yeah, it's not gonna go anywhere. As a matter of fact, in this car, mine is not welded. I bought a new one. I didn't even re-weld it. It's fine, you can leave it like that. But if it makes you feel better, throw you some tack welds on it. So the transmission tunnel on your AOD car is cut differently. It's not big enough to accommodate a 5-speed shifter and you be able to get to the bolts. So you're gonna have to go in and trim your transmission tunnel out just a little bit. Now guys, don't freak out. It's not a big deal. It took us, what, 3 minutes to do? What I used was this little deal right here from Harbor Freight, and it worked great. The best time to do that is when your transmission is out of the car. And you can just saw that thing out. You can use some 10 snips, anything like that. Don't worry, you only have to trim. I had the piece somewhere. I don't remember where it is. I think I threw it away. But you only trim about that much. Also, flywheel bolts. Your flex plate bolts are really small, really short. When you put your flywheel on the car, you're gonna have to run longer bolts. So all you gotta do is source some flywheel bolts. I think you can get those from O'Reilly or something like that, AutoZone. So go pick yourself up some of those. There is no difference in the backside of your crankshaft. I've heard this before. The crank is the exact same for an automatic and a 5-speed. And the reason why I'm telling you that is all you have to do is knock your pilot bearing in, take a piece of wood or something, lay up on it, and hit this thing and get it flat. You want to get it flush into your crankshaft and you should be good to go. On your throttle body side, you're going to have your factory TV cable, kick down cable, whatever you want to call it. You're just going to remove all that stuff and you can use your same bracket down here. So this bracket is set to accommodate an AOD anyway, so you'll just have the one throttle cable instead of your TV cable right here. That's about it, guys. I mean, I'm sure we forgot something, but the main reason for doing this video is to let you guys know that it is not a hard job. It is a aggravating job when you have to get under the dash. That is the crappiest part of it all. It's going to take you some time. You're gonna mess with it and you're gonna think, man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get this stuff back together. Trust me, your column is not hard at all. Your column comes out pretty easy, but the bracket itself just becomes a nightmare. And to get your column out, you have one bolt down here, and you're gonna have to take that loose, pull the bolt out. Once you get your column unbolted inside, you literally just pull it all out. So it's not hard. Don't think that this is an easy job that you can just do in a day by yourself in the driveway. I mean, I guess you could if you're experienced, but you really need some help. For no other reason to have somebody to calm you down and take over and give you a break for a little while, because you're gonna get frustrated when you're laying under that dash. Outside of that though, the transmission swap, nothing to it. It's pretty much cake. No issues whatsoever on that. So guys, look, this has been a very good upgrade for Andrew. You've been wanting to do this for a long time. So,
I got the car.
and I know, look, this is no hate toward the AODs. If you like an AOD, that's cool. I know a lot of people do, but these cars are worth more money with a 5-speed. So that's something else that you can think about. If you have an AOD car and you want to swap it over to a 5-speed, what I'll say is this: you're probably not going to lose any money. Now, if you've got a super nice, all original 20,000 mile car, then yeah, leave the AOD in it. Don't mess with it. It's probably worth more money that way. But it's been a great upgrade for Andrew. The car is fun to drive, no issues whatsoever. So this was well worth the money. And for him, like we said, he only had about 350 bucks, and that was the new clutch and a couple of things. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll take you guys along for a ride along in Andrew's car, maybe spin some tires. I don't know, this thing's pretty weak, but we'll try it anyway. All right, guys, I'll go ahead, catch you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.